guys, welcome back to Beauty Nomad. Today I'm actually going to be heading out to shoot an interview for that documentary project I've been working on with my partner here in Havana. It's going to be with this amazing older woman who is an artist in the community. She's lived through the Cuban Revolution, she's even met Che Guevara, like she's just this overall force to be reckoned with. But I don't want to give away too many project details because we're still in production. If you are interested in that kind of thing, it's very different than a makeup tutorial, obviously. Just leave me a comment and I can give you more details about when and where we are planning to release it. For now, I'm going to start with my skincare routine by tapping my fingers all over my face to get the lymphatic drainage going on and get the blood circulating to bring it back to life a bit. I break down that routine in one of my other videos, so I can include the link here if you're interested in seeing just how I do my skincare. So instead, while I'm prepping my skin, I thought I would just explain the inspiration behind the look that I'm creating today. Because we're shooting the interview in this artist's pretty whimsical looking art studio, I was inspired to do a look that was an artistic expression of who I am as a makeup artist, which I realized was something that I could never pinpoint as a static or absolute style or identity. I feel like I'm a nomad in every sense of that word. I'm always being influenced by which country I'm in at the moment, or the books that I'm reading, or the experiences that I'm having. So who I am as a makeup artist, or my style as a makeup artist, is always an evolving process. What my approach was a few years ago is probably going to look totally different than my approach in the future. But one thing that has stayed constant for me is an attempt to stay as authentic to myself as possible, which, okay, I realize that sounds like a bit of a contradiction, because if I'm always evolving as an artist, then staying authentic to myself and my makeup style is always going to have to evolve as well. So all that to say that the inspiration for today's look was doing something that really speaks to me as an artist. And since I do have a flair towards the dramatic, I did this big bad winged liner, which you would have seen at the beginning of the video, and I kept the rest of the look pretty fresh. I don't have on any foundation, powder, or even lipstick. I'll break down how I did the winged eyeliner specifically in my next video, but if you want to see how I pulled off the rest of this look, just keep watching. I was up all night revising my questions for this interview, so I think that's showing up on my face a bit at the moment. I'll need a good dose of concealer to brighten and pick me right up. I apply the concealer in this kind of upside down triangle shape under my eyes because it ends up acting as a kind of mini light reflector under my eyes to open them up. So for those of you who might not know what I mean, have you ever seen those weird shiny pieces of what looks like foil being held up at photo shoots? What those do is they bounce the light from this bright colored surface onto a face, so it ends up looking brighter and it helps to erase any shadows that might have been cast on the face. I'm basically getting the concealer to do a mini version of that when I go in this shape, because it not only brightens up shadows from right under the eyes by placing the product there, it goes a step further and bounces the light from the high parts of my cheekbones back towards the eye, and it also helps to lift things up at the outer corners of my face. Oh, and I'll just mention that I swipe it across the lids too to get the color even there and act as a base and primer for that wing liner that I'm going to be setting on top later. Plus, by going in that upside down triangle shape with my concealer, I've basically done half my contouring work already by mapping out where I want the brightness to end and where I want to emphasize shadows, like under my cheekbones to make them look more prominent. I also like to tell my clients to go in a big number 3 shape around the perimeter of their face to really help hug the face shape in a shadow and make the higher planes and center of your face look brighter in contrast. I know this all might sound like a bunch of complicated makeup theory to some people, but I promise you it will make more and more sense as you keep practicing on your own face. Okay, now that I've carved out that cheekbone with my contour, I'm going to go in with my NARS blush in the shade Tau and place a good hit of that on the apple of my cheek. I'm really running that fluffy brush all the way back over the angle of the contour that I just created to melt everything together so there aren't any harsh lines. I'm putting on a fairly heavy amount, much more than I normally would for day-to-day makeup, just because I'm going to be appearing on camera for that interview and you kind of need to overemphasize color and shadow for the camera. I can do a video specifically of makeup for the camera if you guys are interested and take you through tips and tricks on how I get models ready on sets or how I get myself ready if I'm appearing on camera. Just leave me a comment and I'll work that one out for you in the future. But like I said, I normally wouldn't do this for day-to-day makeup. Alright, I'm going to work on my eyes next, but as I said, I'm going to be posting a specific breakdown on how to do a really thick wing liner in a separate video, which I'll link in the description box for you. So for now, you can just watch the sped up version. Okay, with that big wing done, I'm going to give myself a couple of coats of heavy-duty mascara because that wing is so thick, and if I don't, I'll basically lose my lashes completely because they're just going to be camouflaged against the blackness of the wing. And I've said this before, I didn't bring any falsies in my travel bag, so I'm just going to go to town with this. A few drops of that liquid liner had actually gotten tangled up in my lashes, and now I've added so much mascara that I'm actually just going to comb it out to get extra separation and fan out the hairs. It's a good little hack for if you've got a mascara that's gotten a bit old on you. Just keep a fine-tooth little comb handy to get out any of the globs. Finally, it's time for lips. Like I said, I'm not wearing any lipstick in this look. I want to keep the emphasis on the eyes, but I also don't want to look completely washed out on camera. So I'm just slicking on some of this tinted red lip balm, and then I'm going to grab that same NARS Towel blush on my finger and dab that over my lips. That way there's still going to be color on my lips, but nothing very heavy or distracting, plus the color is going to match my cheeks perfectly. Using a blush as a lipstick is a trick I use on clients and on sets actually all the time to create the perfect color or have a softer, more diffused look on the lip. Also, when you use a powder on the lip, it's a bit like an instant matte lipstick more or less, so it's going to last longer. Just a tip, make sure your lips are really exfoliated and hydrated before you put a powder or even a matte lipstick on them, otherwise it can really cling to the dry bits and not look the best. I'm just taking whatever is left over of that blush on my fingertips and just tapping it onto my cheeks for final touch-ups. And I'm done. I had to do this pretty fast as we're about to leave for that interview now. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me. And full disclosure, I tapped some RMS Living Luminizer as a highlighter on after I'd already pulled down my filming setup, so I just wanted to point that out. Anyways, wish me luck, and like I said, if you're interested in hearing more about that documentary that we're filming here, just write me a comment and I can update you on details. I'm at the door now, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao for now. Bye!